I'm glad to be here tonight. It's been a long night. I worked all day and I went to praise and worship practice and finally got back home. And I was just determined that I was going to get this done because it's important and because I want you guys to know a few things. So the title today is Why Make a Difference. And so my name is Anita Gibson, and I am a coach, speaker, and educational strategist. And my husband and I started a nonprofit called the Raise Foundation. You ask why? Well, let me tell you. We decided to start the Raise Foundation in order to provide learning environments that are small, individualized, and hands-on for students who are either struggling or need just more focus, who need that smaller environment to be able to do their best with their academics. And you might ask, well, why? Why do we think that's important? Why do we think we need that? Well, let me tell you. There were some things that I was just tired of. I was tired of prisons being built based on the third grade reading scores of African American males. Just tired. I was tired of students being placed, African American males specifically, being placed in special ed. Hey there, Nate. Good to see you. Being placed in special ed classes when they weren't special ed at all. I was tired of students, African American male students, being forced to take Ritalin and other medications instead of being engaged. I was tired of people focusing on what a student can't do instead of on what he can do. And so I talked to my husband about it, and we decided that we needed to do something about it. And so that is why we started the Raise Foundation. And we're so happy that we did. So let me tell you, we have seen students who have done really well in our program. They have come in sometimes challenged academically, and we've been able to help them to develop their study skills. We've been able to help them to find their passions. We've been able to help them to even become more interested in their academics as they begin to realize that they are strong just in different ways and in different areas, and that each one of us is special and unique, and that God has a specific purpose for us. And so one of the ways that we're able to help our students is we specifically provide small individualized settings, one-on-one tutoring, where we can, first of all, analyze our students and we assess them to see where they really are, so we can figure out how to help them. And then once we do that, we provide small individualized academic settings for them. Some students just learn better, one-on-one. Some students don't do well in a class with 30 students. Some students struggle with all of the moving through a school that maybe has 500 or 600 students in it. So everybody is totally different. So we are there to help those students who just need to focus in a little bit more. And then the other thing we provide is a strong team between the student, the tutors, and ourselves, so that everybody's on the same page. Have you ever had your child come home and you say, do you have any homework? And they say, oh no, I'm good. And then you find out that they not only had homework, but they didn't do it and they didn't turn it in and they got a 0 and now they have a D and they don't have a clue. But they've like 3, 4 assignments that they hadn't turned in. Well, we close that gap by making sure that parents and tutors and students are all on the same page, and we use different systems to make sure that happens. We are just tired, guys, of seeing these African American males not be given what they deserve, and that's the opportunity to be who God created them to be. Hey, Calvin, good to see you. It is time, guys. We don't have to. I'm tired of listening to moms crying on the phone about what can I do with my child. We don't have to wait on anybody. We can start a movement. That's why we're choosing to make a difference. Right, Calvin, this could grow like wildfire because I think there are a lot of students out there who really need that smaller environment. I think that they would do well. And then what we're watching is happening is not only are they doing well with their passions and their talents and gifts, but they're also getting better at their academics when they find out they're not dumb. They're not stupid. When we start engaging them and giving them opportunities to be more creative in how they get their work done. When our assignments are more project based instead of just sitting there writing reports. And so it's learning how to work with these 21st century students. They're different than we were. And so we have to use different strategies. So just like we made a difference and want to make a difference, you can make a difference too. But if you're interested in what we're doing, you can check out more about us at pxl.org. That's where we are. And we're actually having an open house on April the 12th from 6 to 6:30, just a short window to come in and see the site, ask questions. We'll have a short video there for you, and some of our students will be there so you can talk with them. You may want to come and check that out. Listen, there's nothing too hard for God. And so we've decided that while we have breath in our bodies, we will stand for those students who can't and who don't even know that the problem is not them, it's the system that they're in. So I thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit tonight. That is our why. We are tired and we are prepared to make a difference in our world so we can have young African American males that are ready to go on to college or vocation. Young African American males who are prepared to be positive forces in our society, who will grow to be great providers, good dads. We are coming against anything that does not line up with that because we know that's what God desires. So that's our why. And so if you are interested in, and that kind of sparks an interest for you, check us out at pxlacademy.org. We can do this. We don't have to fuss and fight and complain anymore. We can get up and we can do what we need to do for our children. Because guess what? They're all our children. Whether we birth them or not, our society will be impacted by what we do and what we don't do. So that's our why. And that's why we believe we have to make a difference. So you guys take care. Good seeing you, Calvin. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. God bless you guys. Have a great evening. Good night.